Hi and welcome to another little short video from me, Mikael Lind. This is called Ableton Live for the Curious Mind. So this is a little video about how to make interesting arpeggios. And I'll be using this Model 85 voice synthesizer and the modulators here in Ableton Live. So you can use any synth basically. I just chose this one because I like it. It's the arpeggio sounds like this. Very simple. Just a C minor triad and chopping it up into eighth notes. Not very exciting. I'm gonna put on the Raum reverb from Native Instruments. It's sort of making it a little bit more lush there, but yeah, still pretty boring. So in here, in MIDI effects, you have the random. The random does changed notes. So every note that comes in, you put a chance on it, and then a choice. So the chance is how many notes are going to be affected. So if I do 50 here, for example, 50% of the notes will be affected. And what it does is that it chooses here from 12 semitones. So I can see that semitones based on the interval here. If the interval would be 2, then it would choose between 12 whole tones. So you can see here the difference now. Okay, we get this kind of atonal flavor there, but I'm going to just have like maybe 20%, which would be roughly every fifth note, you know, by average. So, but if I turn the choices down to 1, it can only add 1 semitone or not. But if I turn the interval up to 12, then it can add an octave. So you can listen here. So every time there's one choice, and that choice is the interval 12, basically. And you can see that it's adding it because it says, yeah, add here. Then you can subtract or do both ways. So some of the notes are going an octave higher. You could do 7, then you would have a fifth up, right? I'm going to keep this for now, and then we'll duplicate it like this. And then I have maybe 8% and sub. So instead of doing pi, which is like both up and down just as much, this one will be more notes that are going up, and then some notes are going down an octave. All right. But if I would use something like, the random and choices 1, interval 7, so it would sometimes go up a 7th, then I would need a scale here. So I can use the scale, the minor scale, so then it would always quantize the notes to that minor scale. So C minor, which I'm at right now. So still sounds like a bit random. One thing you can do is to actually add a delay to it. For some reason, when there's the notes going being delayed, it sounds less random. You can feel like, because there's a kind of a shadow behind the notes that are coming, that are leaving. So they're not leaving abruptly, they just keep floating along. So you can hear it already, it sounds less sort of random. Now I'm going to use the modulators. So let's use the LFO here. I'm going to map it to the gate. So the gate is basically, how long the notes are between the arpeggios. So if it's the gate is 1%, it's going to be really short notes, and 100% is going to be legato, basically up until the next note. And then you can have 200%, so a note keeps sounding after a new one is added. So And I'm gonna use the glider here because it's sort of most natural. It sort of glides a bit up and down. So not too much. So this is how much, and then, you know, so I mapped it to the gate. So the gate is going up and down a bit. That's already a bit too much. So I'm just gonna create a little bit of variation like this. Another way to create some variation is to use the velocity MIDI effect here. So this one. And if I do random 8, then it randomizes the velocity a bit. So it's not always the same velocity. It's also kind of nice. But then I wanted to randomize also the rate. So now it's going to get a bit crazy, but let's see what happens then. So do the rate. And I don't want to be predictable, so I'm going to use the glider here as well. See how much it's doing just by 8%. So all right, let's keep going. So I'm going to make this. So if I choose another random here, so I still got the C minor scale. So it's not going to go. Even if I have 7 choices, maybe 5 choices, it's not going to be out of the scale. So with the modulator. Modulate the chance, yeah, why not? And the chance will sort of also be up and down a little bit. Yeah, why not? Like that. All right, so then if I also add the cutoff here and add another modulator to that, that would mean that the so not too much, just a little bit. And the glider, again, kind of like that one. It sort of feels most natural or something. So maybe the feedback as well. So sometimes it will feedback a lot, and sometimes, yeah, that could also be cool. I think maybe when it goes to the really quick note, it sounds a bit weird. So I'm gonna maybe, if I add, yeah. Yeah, you see. So the thing is, if you have something like this going on, which is mostly C minor, but not all the time, then it's kind of fun to play along to it. So if I use like a piano or something. And so let's see. So because it doesn't have a steady rhythm, it's sort of kind of fun to improvise to it. Yeah, so that's one way to use these modulators. I only use the LFO now, as you can see, but I'll show how you can use the other ones as well in a future video. So hope you enjoyed this little tutorial on how to sort of chop up your arpeggios. You don't have to use everything here. You can make it a little bit less sort of all over the place. But there are some techniques here that I almost always use because it's fun. Yeah, so thanks for listening and watching this time. And be sure to subscribe.